Hello, it is Miss Khan here with on Friday, the 15th of January 2021. Well done for all your amazing learning that you've been doing in maths over the week. I know it's been a little bit tricky doing 2D and 3D shape without the shapes in front of you, but you've done really, really well. So let's have a little bit of a rewind. Okay, and let's have a little think. Okay, which shapes can you see and what are the properties of the shapes? Remember, the word properties is what is special about that particular shape. Have a little think. Right, I know, okay, this is a cone. I know it is a cone. I am going to prove this. I am going to know this is a cone because it has one edge, okay, and it has one flat face that is facing at the bottom, okay. Cuboid, okay, a cube, cylinder, a pyramid, and a sphere, okay. All of them have different properties that we looked at on, I want to say, Wednesday. So let's go through our what, how, and why. Okay, so yesterday we were looking at creating patterns for 2D shapes. Now our what today is to understand and create a pattern with 3D shapes. And now again, I know this is going to be a little bit difficult without the shapes in front of you, but I have a plan, okay? How retrieving our learning because we know the names and the properties of 3D shapes. Now we're going to create a pattern, okay, a repeated pattern. Why? So we can identify the repeated part in a pattern. So let's go straight into our discover. And here I have a repeated pattern. Okay, you can see there is a cube, sphere, cuboid, cube, sphere, a cuboid. What 3D shape comes next? In the repeated pattern, which 3D shape comes next in the pattern? You might want to have a little chat with someone next to you if you're in school, or you might want to have a little chat with mummies and daddies, or even brothers, or even dogs at home. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about that. Have a little look at the repeated pattern. Mm, mm. Cube, sphere, cuboid. What comes next? Right, I like when I want to know what comes next in a repeated pattern, I like to chant the pattern. Okay, so I'll go cube, sphere, cube, cuboid, sorry, cube, sphere, cuboid. So the next one is, I think I can hear you. It is a cube. Okay, you know, cube starts the pattern, then it's the sphere, and then it is the cuboid. So I would put the image of the cuboid here and continue the repeated pattern if I wanted to. If we put the cube there, then we know it would be the sphere, then the cuboid. Okay, so let's go to our think together. Now Mr. Rogers has made his own repeated pattern using the 3D shapes, okay? Now I want you to have a little think about his repeated pattern. What do you think of it? Okay, use that chant in your head. So how many, let's see what shapes here. There's 2 cones, 1 cylinder. 2 cones, 1 cylinder, 2 cylinders, 1 cone. Have a little think. Is Mr. Rogers' 3D shape pattern repeated? Have a little think. Right, I can see looking at Mr. Rogers' repeated pattern that he's made a little bit of a mistake. I wonder if someone is able to explain to me, okay, what mistake Mr. Rogers has made, okay? It's okay to make a mistake, able to learn from your mistakes, but what mistake can we tell Mr. Rogers he has made in his repeated pattern? Right then. So I can hear a lot of children saying there is a mistake around here, this area of the repeated pattern. But let's see what mistake it is. Okay, 2 cones, 1 cylinder. 2 cones, 1 cylinder. 2 cylinders. I think Mr. Rogers got a little bit confused. Instead of doing two cones, Mr. Rogers did 2 cylinders. So we need to get rid of this cylinder because we don't need this cylinder. Okay, but we need 2 cones in this gap. Okay, so we've got 1 cone. And now we have another cone. So let's start at the beginning of our pattern and let's see if it's repeated. So 2 cones, 1 cylinder. Join in with me. 2 cones, 1 cylinder, 2 cones and 1 cylinder. Perfecto. Now we've helped Mr. Rogers with his repeated pattern. And there's one more repeated pattern that I want you to show you. Okay, that now this time, instead of you telling me which one shape is missing, I want you to tell me which 2 3D shapes are missing in this repeated, what are next, sorry, in our repeated pattern. So let's start at the beginning of our pattern. So we've got 1 cube, 2 pyramids. 1 cube, 2 pyramids. What comes next? Right, I can hear a lot of children saying, it's a cube, it's a cube. Well done for those children saying it is a cube. Okay, so I'm going to put that down there. It's a cube. What comes next? Is it another cube? No, well done. It is a pyramid. Well done, guys. And I could continue it on and on and on and on and on as long as I wanted to. Now, I'm going to leave you with a job. Okay, now I know it's a little bit tricky drawing 3D shapes, so I've given you an alternative, something different as well. So I want you to write or draw your own repeated pattern. So you can see that Miss Khan, okay, has drawn her repeated pattern. Okay, I did find this tricky. Okay, so now when I do my other repeated patterns, I'm going to write it instead. So you can see at the bottom, Miss Khan wrote her repeated pattern using 3D shapes. So you can see Miss Khan did cube, cone, cube, cone, cube. Okay, you could do cuboid, cuboid, pyramid. Cuboid, cuboid, pyramid. And if you're finding it a little bit tricky to draw them, that's okay. You can just write them. And again, just use your phonics. It doesn't need to be perfect. The main thing is you're using your phonics. Okay. Or you can use objects around your house to create a repeated pattern using, okay, using your knowledge of 3D shapes, because we know that 3D shapes sometimes look like objects around our house. So I've got a tin, okay, and I know this looks very similar to a cylinder, and I've got lots of tins in my house. Okay, so I'm going to do a cylinder and a pyramid. Then I'm going to continue my repeated pattern using objects instead. So I've shown you 3 different ways you can represent this. Okay, you can draw it if you want to, you can write it if you want to, you can use objects around your house if you want to. It is up to you. Whatever you do, please send us a picture and evidence me, and I would love to see how creative your 3D shape patterns are. I hope you all have a lovely and safe weekend, and I will see you next week for your learning. See you later, guys. Bye.